Shepard. Are you okay?
Did it work?
Geth fighters have been disabled. Any remaining squadrons attacking the live ships have withdrawn. The server is offline.
Are you sure?
That's a lot of primes.
We have transferred Geth programs from the server into these platforms.
Why?
They wish to join us.
I knew it. You know, your Geth buddy's gone nuts.
What?
While Shepard Commander removed the Reaper infection, we judged we could persuade hostile Geth programs to reunite with ours. We were correct. These Geth have renounced the old machines and will oppose the Reapers. They are now us.
So remember, of course, that there's the Geth consensus, the main contingent of Geth that have been relatively isolated here in the Perseus Vale, this far corner of the galaxy. However, there was also a smaller contingent of Geth, those that chose to side with the Reapers, and those were the ones that, of course, we ended up fighting in Mass Effect 1. We didn't realize at the time that that was, in fact, just a small subset of all the Geth, the heretics, if you will. And by destroying the Reaper code on this server, we have, through a lot of Legion's assistance, I mean, Legion really did all the heavy lifting here, at least in this regard, determined that it was possible to fully convert these once heretical Geth into consensus Geth, bring them in to join alongside Legion and occupy these platforms. Again, remember, they're technically software, and so Legion downloaded that software onto these Geth Prime hardware units, and suddenly they'd like to join us.
Why didn't you tell me any of this?
We did not doubt you. We doubted your allies. The Creator's actions have placed their species in danger, but they are unsympathetic to what it has done to ours. The Quarians sanctioned this operation to save their people. They would not have done so if they knew we wished to preserve Geth as well.
Okay. I think I see where you're coming from with that.
I understand not wanting to leave anyone behind.
You accept our actions?
The live ships are safe, and we have more Geth on our side. We both did what we came to do.
We judged you would understand. Prime units will be available once the Reaper signal has been located and destroyed.
Remind me to warn Admiral Hackett he's got some primes coming. Let's get back to the Normandy.
Primes just casually step aside, let us through.
Impressive, Commander. The Geth squadrons attacking our live ships have been completely neutralized. If there is any chance we could duplicate the feat, I would be happy to lend my expertise.
Legion's the one to ask if you're looking for other servers.
I thought as much, but your Geth claims to have no data available whenever I inquire. Perhaps you can help me with something else.
What's that?
How did you get Geth Primes to work with you?
They volunteered.
I see. Well, should you wish to examine these Geth to confirm their new allegiance, please do not hesitate to contact me.
Right, she's kind of crazy about
Zen
the whole
out.
trying to use the Geth to support the Quarians thing.
Commander, we've located the Reaper base transmitting the local signal.
Good.
And not a moment too soon. With the Reaper code upgrades, the Geth are tearing the fleet apart.
Once the signal is disabled, the Geth will pose no threat to Creator forces.
Okay, so it sounds like, remember, again, the two distinct groups of Geth. There's the consensus, the primary group of Geth, the ones that have remained neutral, and who, right now even, claim to not house much in the way of ill will toward the Quarians. And then there are the heretics, the ones that sided with the Reapers, have Reaper code in their software, and those, based on what Legion is saying here, apparently are also the ones that are currently confronting the Quarians. And so if we are able to deactivate the Reaper signal, the thing that is making those Geth follow the Reapers and be heretics, if we are to disable that, then we might be able to have those Geth rejoin the consensus, much like those primes just did, and in doing so, perhaps quell this battle?
You sound conflicted.
While the old machines have unethical purposes, their upgrades have vastly improved our people. Observe.
Careful, Legion.
A Geth processing signal. A single unit, I believe.
Correct. Now, 10 nearby units networked cooperatively. Now, a single Geth unit with the old machine upgrades.
That's a fully evolved AI.
Yes, we do not agree with the goals of the old machines, but we find this growth beautiful, indicative of life.
Ooh, are the machines alive? Or are they just machines? If they get advanced enough, if they truly have fully functioning brains, which is what that just looked like, are they truly living creatures? Perhaps. Perhaps they are.
It is.
Commander!
I witnessed their history, Admiral. The Reapers sped up the process, but the Geth were always moving this way.
And they will die when we destroy the base.
They allied with the Reapers.
To save themselves from you.
Okay, so we could say, well, you see, the Geth just need to die because some of the Geth have caused a whole lot of problems for the Quarians, of course, and the rest of the galaxy when they were fighting alongside the Reapers in Mass Effect 1 and potentially continuing to do so here in Mass Effect 3. Or, I mean, have we seen enough to believe that it may be possible to go the peaceful route? Do we think Legion has a point here? I mean, it seemed like those primes were truthfully siding with us, so perhaps Legion is right.
Maybe they don't have to die. After what I saw on that server, I don't know. Maybe there's another option.
Commander, are you suggesting...
I'm not suggesting anything. All I'm saying is, maybe they don't all have to die.
It's a moot point until we take out that base. The surrounding area is heavily fortified, and they have placed jamming towers to prevent orbital targeting.
Sounds like we're going in on foot.
Admiral Zen developed a laser guidance system that can cut through the jamming. It's synced to the Normandy's targeting computer.
So the Normandy launches a precision strike at whatever target I have painted? That ought to do it. Edie, this work for you?
Yes, it should enable us to make a precision strike against the Reapers.
And anything else in our way?
The Geth will quickly reconfigure their jamming towers to neutralize this technology. You should not use it before reaching the base.
I've sent the coordinates for the Reaper base.
Are we clear to go?
We still haven't gotten a rescue ship to Admiral Kurz.
Can he wait?
We're suffering heavy civilian casualties without him there to organize them. But we'll do what we can. This is your operation, Commander. If you want to strike now, you've got my support. I gave in to your reckless behavior beforehand.
Okay, so, big mission done there. Lots of funding as well. And learning a whole lot about the Geth. As I said, that was the Geth perspective. We've not yet done Leviathan. We've not done any of the major DLCs outside, if you want to call, From the Ashes. Obviously, just getting Java. But the other ones we've waited on. But, so, bear in mind that as I was kind of hinting there, as we were going through that mission, yes, the Geth seemed very innocent from that perspective, but remember, in Mass Effect 2, for example, and even in Mass Effect 3, when we were entering this area, we learned that any ship entering this area of the galaxy immediately shot down, immediately destroyed. So, take everything that you've seen and heard from the Geth with a pound of salt. For that reason, maybe that was all the heretic Geth rather than the consensus, although this is supposedly where the main Geth are supposed to be housed in this general area, so don't know about that. And also just very interesting to see how in Mass Effect 1, of course, the Geth were in many ways the primary enemy. The Reapers existed in theory, but were for the most part just sort of an idea, and we didn't confirm until near, at least halfway, that Sovereign was actually Reaper, and then it wasn't until the end that we actually fought Sovereign. So primarily Geth. And then, for suddenly, after seeing all this in Mass Effect 3, this reversal of, hold on just a second, maybe the Geth are the good guys, and it's actually the Quarians who are the bad guys, which is just a total dramatic shift, which is, I mean, in some ways, I do feel like there's a bit of retconning there in the process, but it is saying something that the writers have found a way in Mass Effect 3 to make a compelling case to side more with the Geth than certainly you would have ever imagined. Imagine if in Mass Effect 1 someone had told you, oh yeah, by the end of the trilogy, you're gonna actually think that the Geth have a better argument for being the people we should support than the Quarians. I don't know. But anyways, we also have a bit of an argument between Admiral Ron and Admiral Garrus here. They've been going at it. Let's see if we can actually listen to what they're saying, though.
So pull them back.
If I withdraw now, the Geth will flank us, and we'll lose any room to maneuver. I need the patrol fleet.
I gave in to your reckless behavior beforehand. The patrol fleet isn't moving.
So Han Garrus needs some kind of support from Admiral Ron's fleet, except Admiral Ron's like, no, you're being way too reckless, dude. No way. Not gonna make it happen. But, I mean,
So pull them
I think this might be the time to make moves, though, right? Lose any room to maneuver. If they don't have the fleet, I think we support Garrus here.
The patrol fleet isn't moving.
Admiral Garrus is right. Withdrawing now puts the whole fleet at risk.
As you say, Commander. All right, Han. You've got your ships.
Thank you, Ron. You'll get them back in good condition.
That was also kind of weird how he had this very staticky communication before, and then as soon as we did that, he sounded totally normal, like he was standing right next to us. I was like, did he just magically teleport right there? Yeah, the Geth could have wiped out all the Quarians, but they didn't. There's certainly, that's a strong argument to be made in the Geth's favor, but they've also destroyed any Quarians, or any one, Quarian or not, that has entered the Perseus Vale. That's sort of what I'm saying, is there's that inconsistency where on one hand we just heard that here are the Geth being all merciful, sparing the Quarians. Maybe it's truly logic rather than mercy. They couldn't yet calculate what the ramifications of wiping out entire species would be, as they said. But, I mean, if the question is, who is morally in the right, who is morally in the wrong between the Geth and the Quarians, and the Geth, they may have spared, whether that be for moral or logical reason, the Quarians previously, the fact that they have still fought, destroyed, and killed anything that has entered this area of the galaxy, which is, including the Quarian homeworld, is very inconsistent with that, is what I'm saying. Yeah, maybe it's a border patrol. I guess you could make that case. That's an interesting way to frame it. Yeah, we let them leave, but we're not letting them back, so we're just making a border patrol, making sure that things stay at the status quo, more or less. Okay. I guess I can see that. And we got a lot of updates to war assets, both from our planet scanning a little while back, and also from some side quests that we did, and also from that bigger quest that we just completed. So the Volus bombing fleet is the one that we got from doing the Volus ambassador mission. 75 points is a lot. Volus prefer air power in conflicts, counting on the Turians for ground support. Yeah, the Volus are not much in the way of strong military species. They maintain several flotillas of heavy bomber frigates capable of warfare in any atmosphere. So we gained that, and remember, we had the option of either supporting the Volus and getting this, or not doing so and sparing a Turian colony that was supposedly going to get attacked by Cerberus, depending on which way we went when we were negotiating with Din Korlak. However, we were able to charm them into giving us the best of both worlds, fortunately. We also got the Batarian fleet from Bollock, actually. And the once formidable Batarian navy was all but annihilated when the Reapers struck Karshan, their homeworld. The enraged survivors have gathered into a single remaining fleet. Single fleet, that is. I mean, I think Bollock was saying that they were the strongest species at one point in time in the galaxy. That's probably a little bit hyperbole. I don't actually think that's the case. He's kind of biased, but they were still a pretty significant species, for sure. They were kind of on the fringes of the main civilizations on the galaxy because they didn't make many friends when they started to pick some fights with humans, mostly, but other species as well, and the whole slavery is part of their culture thing also doesn't sit well with other people all that much, but Batarian refugees are enlisting by the thousands, desperate for a sense of purpose after the destruction of their homeworld. No collection of vessels is more eager to engage the Reapers than Karshan's last warships. So yeah, their homeworld, you just are basically either completely taken or, yeah, I think completely taken, like not actually like destroyed per se, but completely overrun by Reapers, because again, they were the first to get hit, and they've been hit the hardest. So we've heard about other homeworlds being attacked, but this one, Karshan, the most so. And then here's the update, I think, from the Bollock component overall. We may be seeing the Batarian fleet for the first time, but the part that actually changes from having spared Bollock is, as the highest ranking officer left in the hegemony, Bollock is now the last Batarian military leader. His leadership, drive, and barely contained fury have galvanized his troops. While Bollock bears a deep hatred for the Alliance, humans, he would do anything to save his people, and has grudgingly joined forces with humanity to stop the Reapers. And Batarian refugees are also rallying around the Pillars of Strength, finding courage in the sacred ancient artifacts recovery. So that's a side quest we did previously, exploring and finding the Pillars of Strength and giving them back to one of the Batarians. We may have seen the Batarian fleet beforehand, because obviously this happened a little while ago that we got the Pillars of Strength. However, there are times when you do side quests, and technically it will update your war assets, but the war assets and the effect of that little update do not appear until later on in the game, so that may have happened here. Not entirely sure. That looks like all from Alien. We do get more Alliance Engineering Corps. This we've definitely seen before, but the update is the base of a Hesperia period statue is covered in Prothean writing. The translations have proven useful to engineers working on the Prothean device. Nice. Is that the part that's newest, though? Is that... probably is. Oh, there's still more, though. Still more that's new. We got Zaid, of course. Zaid Masani has a reputation as one of the most relentless and efficient mercenaries in the Terminus systems. Cerberus contacted Masani a few months after the Collectors were destroyed and offered him a job. Oh, that's interesting. So that's, I mean, he was kind of sort of working for Cerberus when he was working with us. But no, they were looking for him on more of a full-time basis, but negotiations ended badly, and Masani now seeks out jobs that oppose his former employer's interests. He brings years of experience and a finely honed survival skills to fight against the Reapers. He's worth 25 points, as was Kasumi, so that seems like that's generally the number that we get for prior squad mates, but 25 is pretty significant. Okay, then we have the Crucible update for this as well. Here it's emergency fuel pods. I think this was one of the things that we scanned in one of the planets. The fuel pods scavenged from a field of debris in the Valhallan Threshold were once attached to a fleet of merchant vessels making a long, risky journey into uncharted space. The pods have been repurposed for the Crucible project. When activated, the Crucible's fusion reactors consume entire oceans of helium-3. The fuel pods serve as emergency reservoirs should the weapon use more power than expected. Also advanced power relays. The advanced power relays are 15 kilometers of insulated wiring, connected to switch boxes that regulate the energy flow. Installing the relays in the Crucible will prevent catastrophic power surges from overloading its systems. And we also have the haptic optics array, so tons of stuff directly for the Crucible. Haptic optics array, I think this was also, I assume, from a scan, is an experimental computer user interface. Cortical implants allow users to see screens projected in front of them. A user's eye movements are tracked, syncing to hand gestures as they sift through data. It might come from the mission we just did, actually, since that does remind me a lot of what we were just doing. While disorienting at first, people using the optics array report increased efficiency, and the technology has been adapted by several dozen engineers for use on the Crucible. And we've seen all that stuff. Okay. Krogan. Update there for Krogan clans. This, I believe, is from... where'd it go? Fierce, toxin-immune creatures known as Cacliosaurs, once used as battle mounts by the Krogan, have been cloned from the fossilized Cacliosaur skull discovered by Commander Shepard. And now Krogan will once again ride dinosaurs into battle. It's amazing. It's amazing. And yeah, of course, once upon a time, at least in the original Mass Effect trilogy, Mass Effect 3 multiplayer would affect your war asset score. Unfortunately, not in Legendary Edition, but we would love if they did it. We'd love if they did it. Then Geth, we actually have some points from the Geth here. Once feared across the galaxy, the synthetic Geth have allied with organic forces they once called enemies. Their fleets and armies won't stop until the Reapers are neutralized. And it is that Geth Prime platoon that we just picked up from that previous mission. Geth Primes are built to house more programs than other platforms and operate as mobile networking hubs. So, unlike other lower level Geth that usually are basically, I mean, there are many programs, yes, but they still ideally are with additional Geth to increase their processing power or near other more significant Geth software and hardware so that they can, well, do what they are designed to do. However, the Geth Primes are big enough, powerful enough, house enough programs that they can single-handedly, as it sort of says here, boost other neighboring Geth so that even in remote areas, they can still have enough computing power to do what it is they need to do. So their combat software provides a boost to any Geth nearby, coordinating and directing attacks. Since the destruction of a Prime unit causes the processing power of other Geths to drop, Prime hardware platforms are heavily shielded and well armed. So that's exactly the thing. Having a Prime makes all other Geth in the area more powerful for that reason. So yeah, even the Geth now starting to support us. So lots of updates there. Anything new from Ron?
The data you forwarded about the Geth was disturbing. It doesn't match the stories we tell.
Yeah, again, this whole Geth perspective versus Quarian perspective, it's just very different. You know, hard to say definitively who's right, who's wrong. It's just, if you listen to just the Geth, then it's gonna sound a whole lot like the Geth are purely innocent, and they did nothing wrong, and so they are in the right. Whereas if you listen to the Quarian perspective, then it's oftentimes gonna sound like, well, the Quarians did everything right. Clearly the Geth are in the wrong, we should side with the Quarians. But is this new perspective perhaps opening your mind a bit?
Having second thoughts about the Geth?
Admirals don't have the luxury of second thoughts. What do you need?
You sure about that? You sure about that? I think we have already asked about all this other stuff.
I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, Commander.
Okay. So that's the latest from Ron and our war assets. Let's see if... I mean, Tally's just chilling there. Looks like she might want to speak to us.
I'm ready to hit the Reaper base whenever you are, Shepard.
Okay. Well, this is all stuff we asked her about. The Reaper base is the place on Rannoch that we would eventually choose to go after. However, let's take a look at our quest log for a second here.
Talk to you later, Tally.
Sure.
Because if we do, we of course just finished the... wherever it is. I'm surprised it's not at the top. Oh, is it it's alphabetical. I wish I remember. R for Rannoch, probably? The Geth Fighter Squadrons. So we just finished this, but this was one of 2 Rannoch-based quests that we saw previously, of course. The other one being the one where we rescue the Quarian Admiral, who's just currently kind of chilling on Rannoch, because Admiral Chorus crash-landed on Rannoch and could use a little help right about now. So we probably would want to help Admiral Chorus before we do Priority Rannoch, which is we did see it before, but we now have more information here. The Reaper base controlling the Geth has been located, but jamming towers prevent conventional orbital bombardment. Land on Rannoch and use a prototype targeting laser to enable the Normandy to destroy the Reaper base. So that's the big one, but that's the one that Tally's asking us if we're ready to do. But I think we would still want to do this stuff for Admiral Chorus first. But now that we have done a big mission, let's make sure that we take a little bit of time to chat with some teammates here, see if they have anything else to say about that. Because, oh, and I don't even know, like, maybe, even, oh, and Legion, we didn't ask Legion, but we should probably ask them as well.
Shepard, Commander, we have re-established a connection with Geth liberated from the server.
What's their status?
We have integrated their programs into this platform's network with minimal difficulties. Your actions have changed their perspective on organics. They also offer gratitude.
So, Legion has casually just housed those programs. They are now part of Legion. And now we have helped to reshape the Geth perspective on organics a bit, which is hopefully a good thing. So, I think we've already asked about all this stuff, though. That's the usual.
We'll talk later.
We will remain here.
Okay. Good thing we did. Let's check in ever so briefly there with Legion, though. What I'm wondering is, I don't think Anderson or Hackett have anything to say to us, but just to confirm, no? Okay. Not seeing anything. So, let's head out to the rest of the Normandy and just see what, if anything, our other squad mates might have to say. Do they have thoughts on that mission there? Perhaps.
So, Sarah, about your buddy, the one who joined Cerberus. You heard from him?
No, I cut ties. Reported him for whatever good that did. No way I want that crap on my record.
Okay. You say so. I did not mean to go back through this, though. I don't mean to go back through. Excuse us.
Commander, you might want to check in on Commander Williams down on the observation deck.
Ah, okay. So yes, it does sound like we have some squad mates, some teammates that'd like to speak with us. Check our emails real quick. Important. From Miranda. Shepard, I have something important to tell you. I need to do this in person. Can you meet me in the Commons? I'll send a nav point. No vids this time. I promise. Miranda. That sounds big. Then status update 314.20R from invalid extranet domain. Geth programs and hardware designation. Legion have requested prime runtimes update Shepard Commander on platform status. Complying. Prime platforms housed in server 02241-14511 remain stationed on Rannoch. Creator forces prevent transfer of prime platforms to Geth transport vessels. Cessation of Creator Geth conflict required to assist Shepard Commander / designated allies. Awaiting conflict status update. So Legion saying that basically there may be other Geth that could help, just at the moment they're kind of stuck on Rannoch since there's this whole conflict between the Geth and the Quarians. Okay. Miranda very much would like to speak to us. As would Ashley. While we're over here, though, let's just chat a bit with Joker Edie, see if they have anything they'd like to say to us.
Man, watching
Since
the
we're in the
Geth
area.
fleet move, it's like thousands of stun flyers in formation. Creepy stun flyers, whose ships look like some sort of cockroach wasp thing.
He's not wrong. That is, what did I think I described them as like popsicle shaped before, for lack of a better way of phrasing it. I mean, to be fair, the Geth kind of look popsicle shaped as do the Quarian ships. They actually look kind of similar. The Geth are more, spherical, I guess? Whereas the Quarians are kind of like a circle with a circle rather than sphere with a part that extends out near the front.
Shepard, you are now possibly the only living organic who has experienced the Geth consensus. Do you feel different?
It was fascinating. Mind-blowing. And I'm also a bit thirsty.
And just like that, the magic is gone.
Did you just say what I think you said?
No.
The magic? Edie? Oh? Oh, were you intrigued by how we were the only human, perhaps, to have experienced firsthand what it is like to think like a synthetic? I mean, to be fair, David Archer? Or is that... Yeah. David is the one from Overlord that got hooked up to the machines to try to communicate with the Geth, right? I forget what his brother's name was, the one who was the scientist who was running those experiments. I think David was the subject of the experiments, and Doctor? I mean, we might just be have referred to him as Dr. Archer. But anyways, anything else, Edie?
Hello, Shepard.
No. The magic was lost.
So you went into the Geth consensus? Like virtual reality?
Yeah, it was strange, but I got out all right.
Did you? I mean, how would you know?
How would I know what?
If you really got out. See, if the Geth experience everything virtually, then you could only think you're in the real world. What if this, like everything you're seeing now, is a simulation?
I mean, isn't that true about reality? There's that whole simulation theory. Like, what if the entire world is actually a simulation and we just don't realize it? Because we just live within the confines of that bubble? Hey, man, it's possible.
Commander?
It's possible. Okay. So let's look around elsewhere on the ship, because we know that at least Ashley, if not others as well, would like to speak to us. Okay. So let's go to the crew deck then, I suppose. Anyone here with whom we ought to speak? Maybe yes, maybe no. Well, this is usually where Ashley is, but what the heck? Ashley, are you okay? What's going on over here? Someone else over here? Did someone hit you? Looks like you got into a fight and got punched and knocked out, or you were drinking way too much.
Williams?
Oh.
What happened?
What have we here?
Oh, sir. I'm off duty. Your voice? Sir, not so loud. Please, thank you.
Why are you curled up on the floor?
Am I? Oh, my head. So heavy. Can't move.
Ah. Enjoy your evening?
I'll be back to work in 30. Ugh, maybe 40. I swear. Just give me 45 minutes. Shh. Shh.
What exactly happened? You doing okay, Ash? Because it doesn't look like it.
How did you end up in this sorry state?
Just wanted to let off some steam. Vega said he had just the thing to take my mind off stuff.
And did that thing come in a bottle?
Yes.
This empty bottle?
It's empty. Oh boy.
I'm afraid it is. Oh, Ashley. Look at you, got a little too carried away.
You know, I think it might be time to test the fire alarm.
I'll pay you 1 million credits not to do that, sir.
2 million, and we have a deal.
Oh, man.
I'm space pirate.
I could order Joker to sing to you over the comm.
I hate you.
I hate you...
Sir.
As you were, Williams.
Cold floor.
Okay. It is odd the trainer specifically told us that Ashley really wanted to speak with us. So what did Ashley, in this sorry state, contacted trainer, was like, hey, tell Shepard I need to talk to him. Because, call me crazy, but I somehow doubt that that happened. Seems a little bit odd. Like, how did trainer know that Ashley wanted to speak to us? Because Ashley definitely did not want to speak to us.
Cold floor.
Anything else?
Okay, you can go now. Okay, you can go now.
Alright. If you insist. Ashley, you know, just give her 50 minutes. Make it 55. I don't think we're gonna have much else here. We, of course, do now have additional options for bonus powers, but we have locked in, or at least at the moment have chosen to go with the repair matrix. Oh, what's this?
So, Prothean, huh?
Yes.
You guys like to drink, booze it up?
No.
Games?
Okay. What about gambling? Play cards?
Games of chance were punishable by death in the Empire.
Oh, sure.
Oh.
Sure, that seems reasonable. Okay. So, smoking. You ever do that?
Only when my armor became inflamed.
Right. Yeah, smoking. I get it. So jokes then. You got jokes. All right. You got any good ones?
No. Yes.
Give them to me.
The Tulomorian spy entered the enemy's camp and said to the Vanquisher, I didn't know your Parnaps could glow.
No idea what that means.
All right. I get it. Yeah, that was a good one.
No, it wasn't. I just made it up. The joke is now on you, human. You will believe anything.
Oh, galaxy brain joke right there. You have been fooled. But this is one of the cool things we haven't seen too often, but does happen in Mass Effect 3 is every now and again, after doing a mission, squad mates will end up elsewhere on the ship, and on occasion will be shooting the breeze with other people. And, you know, it just gives a little more life to the Normandy. Makes it feel a little more real.
You took a great risk in allowing a machine access to your mind, Commander. What if they had infected you?
It's kind of what Joker said.
I do not think this James soldier understands me.
James,
None of
whoever
these
he is.
cycles seem to understand me, and I do not care.
What exactly is this James of which you speak? Also, what is... Hold on. What is that icon there? There's the gun with the red circle around it crossing that. That makes sense. It's also totally an arc pistol, I think. Is it? It's not Carnifex. But what's the one on the right is the thing that initially caught my attention, because it kind of looks like an Asari head. Like, I get the whole don't bring a weapon here thing, don't bring a gun, but don't bring Asari heads? Am I missing something here? The one on the right, what is that? Is that not an Asari head? Because you can see the hair tentacles, as Joker, I believe, phrased them.
Not at this time.
Alright, what about James?
Hey, Commander.
James, what are you up to?
A little cooking. Hope you don't mind. I was craving some of my abuela's huevos rancheros. Not sure what kind of eggs these are, but they seem to work. Oh, if you see Ash anywhere, tell her I'll save her some. I'm thinking she might need a little nourishment after last night.
I don't think she's in any position to eat right now.
That's too bad. This is just what she needs. Not as good as my abuela's, but best thing I've had since I got on board. And maybe it's best I don't know what kind of eggs these are, no?
Yeah, I mean, at first, I didn't give that much thought. Like, sure, I mean, how many kinds of eggs can there be, right? But, no, I mean, if we're talking about, we're in space, those could be a whole bunch of kinds of alien eggs that we do not know about, so that's a little concerning, now that I give it a little more thought. Food not for a sorry fridge. Like Turian and Quarians. True. Turians and Quarians cannot eat the same kinds of things as, what, humans, Asari, Solarians, basically everyone else, because their amino acids, their proteins in their bodies are structured differently, and it'll basically be poison to them. So maybe you might be onto something there. It just seems like a very odd way of communicating that message. Speaking of Turians, let's see if Garrus is over here.
Can be of some assistance, Garrus Vicarian.
For calibrations?
I appreciate the offer, Legion, but this is something I know a thing or two about.
Data indicates the calibration of Normandy's weapon accuracy can be improved by 0.32%.
That's all? You can't squeeze 0.34% out of it?
Negative. That threshold is not possible.
You sure? Take a look now.
Scanning. Normandy's weapon systems have been improved by a margin of 0.43%. How did you accomplish this?
A little secret we organics like to keep. Always hold some back for emergencies.
Is our current situation an emergency?
A Geth meddling with our computers, telling me how to do my job? No, I can't imagine that would qualify.
Oh, Garrus, never change. Never change, my dude. He is the expert when it comes to calibrating weapons, and don't you question that for a second. Even if you are a highly intelligent computer program that theoretically would be able to figure out what the maximum precision of the calibrations would be, Garrus has you beat. Garrus has you beat.
So, a virtual Geth reality, huh, Shepard? There are a lot of ways I can think of getting a few kicks in this universe. That's not one of them.
Yeah? It was pretty crazy.
Later.
Okay. He's got more calibrations to do. He's got to continue to show up Legion. Okay, so that was very interesting. That was very interesting.